This is probably the most challenging record you have ever put on your turntable.
You ain't about that life.
Salute. What's good, man? What's good? Family. Welcome back. Salute to the man you listen. Y'all already know.
Y'all know what it is. We here. Doing what we do.
Man. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
Life definitely been lifing, man. Box was good.
You already low, Chip low, the Grand Vizier. I get busier, the Lord Chancellor, romancing her. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling with my man Dark Gable, willing and able.
Listen, we here. We are. Yo, y'all see what it is. We in the stew, man. Shout out to Vox coming through to the stew. You know what I'm saying? We out here. So we said we're gonna promote, you know what I mean? Let people know about this low vest going on this weekend. So Vox said, you know what, dog? I'm pulling up. I said, all right, that's what's up.
Yep. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, dog. For real. It's about that time, 2026. Chip, you started my year off with a bang as far as helping me out. Spreading the wood, making sure everybody know. And then here comes the low vest shoot. Beautiful, setting the year off. You know, there's a lot of RIPs and, you know, a lot of people we lost in the last half of that 2025 that brought in this year that kept this perspective. Like, you know what I mean? Every year we get somebody or something that makes it real. Makes it like, yo, why we throw this in? It's a reason why we throw this.
And we come together. Like you said, it's a reason why, you know, we come together and we do this to remember them and keep them in our heart and make sure that they know that they not, you know, they not forgotten, especially the brother that's locked up in the belly of the beast. You know what I mean? But we definitely want to make sure we remember our fallen, because listen, one day it's going to be us one day. And I would love for someone just to sit there once a year to remember me or remember us as a culture, as a community, and just celebrate it, you know, and don't have to be a sad day. Like we're going to celebrate you and celebrate him or her, you know, word.
That's excellent. That's what we're talking about. A lot of people will take things for granted until it's them. A lot of people will say, oh, you know, that don't matter. And then when they are in the hospital laid on their back or some tragedy happens, they realize. Some of us, we've been through that already. So we know the importance. And that's what I love about what we're doing. Yeah. We already been through that. We know the importance of paying it forward, planting certain seeds and watering the garden, because you can't get no fruit or nothing from the tree if you don't plant the seeds.
Nope.
So, you know, I love the fact that for years we've already been promoting paying homage and remembering the brothers in the belly of the beast. It really goes a long way when some people think about you when you in your worst times. Brothers that's locked up will tell you when they come home, you know, like, man, y'all got me through many days.
Got me through going through all this and that. Yo, y'all forgive me. And that's what it be about, you know, just to make sure that they know they not forgotten about. Because like we said, we was in there, I was in there. And you know, that's why I kind of do it, because of my brother Al B. God bless the dead. Star Low, God bless the dead. You know what I'm saying? They came up on the island up north to come see me and drop off that package to me and hold me down and stuff. So for them to do that, coming way up in Buffalo, New York, you know, coming up in Green, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, these brothers here really held me down. And that was from the brothers on the block. Shout out to Big Boo, you know what I mean? The Watchtower, you know what I mean?
Shout out to the
D-Block, you know what I mean? Ralph Lowe, Clay and them, you know what I'm saying? All the brothers, when they was out there making sure that when somebody sent out that flag, like, yo, he needs something. They was there for the hold it down. They was like, all right, cool. Send us to Dark or send us up there. And it was definitely appreciated and felt. So for me, before they used to say pay it forward, that was what I said, I'm going to do that because when I come home, I'm going to make sure when I get off parole, I'm going to go see my brothers in the pen. I even seen some while I was on parole. You know what I mean? Sluck in. You know what I mean? On my ending of it. But, you know what I'm saying? But I just said I had to do that because I wanted to pay it forward because brothers did it for me. And that's where this come to play. Whereas, you know what, now, instead of me having to go up and do that, now let me honor our fallen and the brothers that's locked up with some type of event every year so that we could remember them and, you know, a celebration. You know?
Dope. This started, you know, with me. When I came on, it was still in its like, you know, we just doing it, Vox. We, you know, it's already been going the low vest shoot, but we still just trying to carry on to this. Now this is a This is an event we look forward to now. You know what I mean? It went from just a little mere idea, let's just get together, to like we got vendors now, and we got DJ set up, we got an indoor spot. When you put your mind to something and do positive work, you get positive results. We didn't start inside. We didn't have no vendors. So we have shown that when you put some positive effort to something, it could grow. It growing right now in front of all your eyes. There's a lot of people gonna come Saturday and think that this is how it's been. Like, yo, y'all dope. This is dope. And don't know like it is. Took a lot of vision from Dark and Chip and Big Boo and a lot of a lot of dedication and putting some money into this. These things don't just happen by themselves. So brothers have a lot of commitment is the word I was looking for. We committed. We committed to this thing, man. If you really wanted to come to fruition, anything. And what we're doing right now is also giving the message to that young Lovox right now, that young Dark man right now, that young Chip Low right now that's watching this. He gonna be watching this and he like, what to take from this? And this is what I want you to take from it. Certain little jewels, whatever ideas you working on right now, young brother, you might not see the fruits of the tree right now, but you must water the seed, plant the seed, water it, and take care of it. And trust me, in time, everything will bear for you. So thank you, brothers, for once again doing this. And podcasting now is where it's at. This is the future now. Okay?
That's definitely a fact.
It's
crazy. It's real crazy that normally, when we come on Super Trife, we it's some form of controversy, so on and so forth. And it's almost like when we're not coming up with a controversial situation, things of that nature, listen, it's okay. It's safe for y'all, man. Y'all can speak. You ain't gotta sit in the bushes all quiet. Listen, I don't hold no grudges. I don't have no malice. We coming out. Trooper, salute, man. Salute. Man, oh man, Light, what's good? Man, listen, I'm telling you, to go through what we went through, to see where we at now,
right?
To know that a few years ago, the Johns really didn't have something per se that rep us now we the hottest thing since sliced bread, man.
Facts.
It's man, it's
Listen,
that's hold tight. I'm telling y'all, hold tight.
That's all it's about. It's just dudes doing what we got to do, and we just keep pushing and moving. That's all it's about, and that's where it's keeping consistency. You know what I mean? Just doing what we got to do, and just being out there, man. Not letting nothing stop us. Not being let this stagnate our growth and move. We just gonna keep moving forward, man. That's all it's about. You know what I mean?
It's always great too. Adversity breeds the champion in you. A lot of us went through the adversity, so that's why we're talking to this little young cat out here and saying you might be going through something rough, but you're looking at cats who went through something rough, and because of that, that's what built that. If we could focus on negativity and reap all the negative rewards, going to jail and having Mom Dukes cry and missing our graduations and doing all of that, dropping out of school, right? Well, when you start going in the positive route, right, you start receiving benefits in the opposite of that, right? So when you was doing dumb shit and excuse my language, and you was robbing and stealing, you got the benefit of robbing and stealing. Jail, police, your moms, if your family mad at you, things happening. Okay, young brother, when you start doing positive things, sometimes your reward for being positive don't really come in no kind of physical accolade, right? But what it does come in is a good night's sleep, peace of mind, having something that you could pass on, which is legacy, something of worth that your youths could take up. Because if you notice nowadays, Super Trife channel was a little ahead of its time anyway. Why I say that? It was necessary and it was ahead of its time. Look at the state of the rap game podcast now. They all arguing with each other every minute. Somebody fighting Mano and 50 and Jim Jones and all of that. So when Super Trife was doing it, everybody was looking at us like, yo, that thing, you know, whatever, repulsed. But ain't it going on it with millionaires? Millionaires is doing it.
But you know what's so crazy about that is, even though people was talking about it, if you think about it, those are some of the highest views we get.
Right.
When it comes down to it, because of the fact of the same reason why people watching this now is because of the action. People like drama.
Facts.
People like people going through some type of adversity or something. So you know what? I want to see you trip and fall. So that's what they look and see. I want to see if you're going to get on here and scream on this person or bark on this person and do whatever. That's where it be coming down to. So if you want, people like that. That's what the world like. And it's sad that we like that, because look, people could sit there and do a 1,000 giveaways that won't get acknowledged, but as soon as he turn around and he go down the block and shoot up a block, and it's
worldwide news. Everybody know that's what's the topic. Nobody talked about the 30 giveaways he did. No. The whole topic for the whole month gonna be, yo, you seen him? You see him do that? Crash out. You see him crash out. You see him do that? It's not gonna be let's give him a benefit. That's like, yo, look, they don't care about what you did before. It's all about the negative, and everybody look for it. I don't know. Is that something? That's where we need to put that out to the people. Is that something that us as a people we are like? Because why are people like that? Why we like that? Not just black people, white. Everybody. Because it don't matter what you deal with. You go on TikTok society there, look at somebody crashing out 1 million billion times. You know what I mean? But they won't watch a person talk about something positive on there, but probably about 5,000 times. What you think, Chip? You always have some great,
Man, listen. I'll tell you firsthand, right? So I started doing word of the day, right? Positive word, giving the breakdown of the word, so on and so forth.
Right.
I ran that for like 90 days straight. Yo, the views. 6 people here, 7 people here.
Look at my music, same thing.
You let me bring up a topic that's in the culture that spearheaded, that came to my attention. It's 349 people in the building right now, just because we're on Super Trife.
Yep.
Thinking like, man, we ain't see them in a while. I know. Somebody, and they
somebody about to get baked or something.
Yeah.
Like he said, the number one shows, great point y'all both making. The number one shows on YouTube and all of the 50 Cents is making. He's not making movies about Back to Africa. He's making TV shows about drug dealers and gangster business and stuff like that. And people tune into this every week. Every time the season starts, it's the topic of. So when, like I said, a lot of people will repost. Sometimes I even had to close one of my eyes when I was watching certain crash outs on Super Trife, but it was a necessary evil. You know why? Because it's real life. It's not, we're not fake. Low Life has always been about the real. We are definitely real. I would have never been a part of this family or wanted to come into something that wasn't real. So that's what it is. The streets, people like to sugarcoat. And it sound all good, but if you talk to everybody, right, you're gonna find out I got issues in my personal family. I'm talking about me and this cousin don't talk, me and this other aunt don't deal, and and that goes on in everybody's family. That's real life. People don't get along like that. At your job, people do not get along.
Because you can't pick, you can't pick your family. You know how that goes.
Pick your family. So you be having some foul family members.
They just relatives. You got family, but then you got relatives.
There you go. Because blood don't make you family. Blood just make you a relative, is what I was taught. Yeah, Vox, that's your cousin, but that ain't your family. Me and you ain't even blood. And look how we does equal on one part. Yeah, so and that's what you learn. Unfortunately, things like I said, adversity will teach you so much, man. You'll be running with your cousin or your family member, and they will get you locked up. Then you get locked up with some strangers, and these strangers will show you how to cook. show you how to eat. Yo, Vox, your letters come here. Yo, Vox, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you could get a job here. You know, you could get your education in here. Man, wait, I didn't grow up with you. How you looking out for me? And the dude that my blood put me in here. So yeah, youngster, we trying to show you that there's a lot of things. 2026 is going to be all about us taking back the streets. The streets belong to us. We are part of the streets. We helped make the streets. What would you say, Doc? We used to say that all the time. We used to say
listen,
like,
I said we took so much, it's time to give back. So it's just about giving back and make sure that we leave that legacy behind. Because, like, listen, nowadays, I was just looking, nowadays you see who's winning, whereas the times done changed. And I don't know if it's gonna go back to where it used to be, but right now we used to shun on the nerds or people that was coming up in school and look at them and be like, But now look, they turn around right now, they're the ones winning. And they went it to the point where even the most gangsterous person can't do nothing because it's not about the violence now. Because you scared to do that because the world is too locked down. So you know what's the sense. So now that same person used to kick down and beat down, now he can step up and talk his talk because it's not about fighting no more. Now it's about wordsmiths. It's about being word battle, about bringing up your truths, bringing up something that, okay, you was embarrassed about that. Oh, I'm not embarrassed about this, because a lot of times them people, they not embarrassed about certain things that we will get embarrassed about. You know what I mean? If a person was to walk by and bump one, let's say a nerd person that we look down like, oh, you a nerd, but really they was just getting their education.
That's it.
And doing their thing. Right. And when we look now, we want our kids to be that way.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, we want our kids to be able to
go to school and go start with nobody. Don't be no bully. I don't want you to be no bully. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you look at it. I don't want you going there doing that. You change. You say, it's like, nah. So now it's like, you know what I mean? That's where we at now. So now it's not about the most gangsterous person now. You know what I mean? It's about the person that can make probably the most moves and doing the most things that he can say, you know what networks I got, who I can connect with. Because now it's about your network now. If you got a lot of connections and network and you can build, who cares about if this guy over here don't deal with me? I can go over here. I can go over there. I can go over there. And guess what? I can make my money. I can make my moves and things still keep rolling. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. A lot of times we stay stuck in that space, in that, 4 or 5 or 8 block radius, and didn't think of, these people, you know what I mean? When we say nerds, nerds now is a good term. It's a good term to be when you say, he's a nerd. You know what I mean? Hear them talk about that like a derogatory fashion now. People don't say it in the dark. Now it's like, he was a nerd. Oh, well, yeah, that's what's up. Go to school, kid. Get that money. Build your life. That's how it is now. When we came up, you dude ready to fight. You crazy? But now, go to school. Get the education. Build. And guess what? This is where it's at now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, life has changed. Life is crazy now, the way that the world has changed. Now, I don't know if the gangsters may come back. You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's a great point, Chip. You can add on to that. That's an excellent point. You got Chip writing a book. You got Big Man putting out clothing. And he ain't doing it on some old, let me just, do some bandulu thing. Nah, he want tag. He want to make sure you gain your barcode on it. He want LLC. Chip, you could talk to this. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers shun paperwork. And we ain't talking about the time when somebody's snitching paperwork. We're talking about you want to be a business, LLC, EIN number. Sorry, I'm using my accent. An EIN number, a LLC. These things people just be scared to do. But when you in an adverse situation, you have nothing, and somebody giving you knowledge and telling you, I'm not gonna give you just the fishing rod. I'm gonna take you to the fishing place where I get the fish, and I'm gonna teach you the technique, my G. When I ain't even fishing, you could go and fish and be legitimate. You could go get a license.
The beautiful thing in life, man, is to be in position to be a first responder. Anytime a crisis hit, ULL is the first responders. Somebody passed in the family, ULL is one of the first responders.
That's right.
Don't get me wrong. I seen RPC, they step up to the plate.
Oh, all the time. Shout out, right?
But-
Shout out
Yep,
all
RLPC,
LPC.
yep.
There's a
You
pillar
know,
in it.
they're
Ayak,
first-
you know what I'm
they're
saying?
first
Shout out
responders.
Sun
Shout
Low.
out to Ayak. Shout out
Yeah,
to
Ayak.
PJC and them guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the first responders, because now it's, you know, shout out to LRL. I see them doing. Listen, to be in position to be a first responder, man, you never know when something gonna happen in your life, where you might need you just might need some extra help, and you don't want no welfare or anything like that. You know, to be in position to help your loadies and loaders to get back on their feet and not look sideways on them while they, you know, going through what they're going through. That's a powerful thing, man. It's amazing to me the amount of growth that we did in the period of time that we did it. If you think about it, you know, what we had a barbecue, we'll see each other, blah blah blah, and then it was this, hey, you know, we doing a book bag drive. Hey, we doing. Hey, listen, now it's more so. Yo, matter of fact, we got an all-white boat party. You know, that's relatively annually now.
Shout out to the Four Kings. Shout out to the brothers who put that together.
It's going down again. We're gonna be promoting that real soon, July 3rd. We got it. We got the date and the time, July 3rd. You know what I mean? Born at 11. But yeah, you know what I mean? More information soon to come. Soon to come.
Listen, man, I'm just blessed, man. I'm blessed to be around some individuals that not only is putting me, but putting the whole family as priority, making sure that it's really no low left behind. You know, the minute you say that, hey, you want in, you know, we cater to those individuals and make sure that they was all right. No matter, I've never turned someone away that said, listen, let me find out some more about you, double R. Let me you know, I never looked at them as, oh, you ain't boost with us back in the day. Like, that's crazy. Like, the initiation process, the how you treat a person as a person, all that matters, man. Like, you never know, that same person that you turned away that you said didn't boost with you might be the person that give you CPR one day.
Facts.
That might be the person that you know, hold wrap something around your arm real tight. If you got you just never know, man.
The stone the builder refused, you know, could be the head cornerstone that you learn a lot of more things as you grow. And that's what you're talking about. And that's what I love about. That's what I saw early with you brothers. It's a pleasure to see Dark Man with a Ralphie's Kids hoodie on and a Ralphie's Kids cookie hat. A lot of brothers finally got the picture. Like, you know, when I first came aboard with you brothers, you know, a lot of the things that we have right now were in discussion. You guys were discussing it. Like, you know, you had already formed the paperwork, everything, all the groundwork was done. You know, passed out everything to everybody, you know, took care of the paperwork and had the events, you know, to incorporate everybody. But then where we're at today, like, you know, we podcasting right now. We got clothing lines. We got YouTube channels, websites. You know, we have events where we give back. We constantly growing.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be aboard this ship, as we talked about, like ATL Low. Shout out to the ATL Low Life crew. You know, shout out to Big Bob, Dex, and Dave, and all of them. You know, Bear and all of them down there. You know, everybody at the whole crew, all of y'all. Shout out to y'all. You know, these were some brothers who was just a chapter. Now they got clothing line, they got events, more events. You know, they stepped up their game. Like,
that's another thing.
We're not playing.
Let me make sure that it's clear. UWL is not the end all. Like, you don't become UWL and then you just stuck. You're not a captive agent. You are an independent contractor, man. You
great point.
You have the ability to go build your squad and do your thing and so on and so forth with assistance.
Shout out to our Mexico crew and our
man, shout out to Team Mexico, man.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Black Prez out there in Palm Beach, man.
Shout out Black Prez.
Oh, I see
Jay, I see Super 6ix9ine. Listen, Super 6ix9ine is the mod of all mods, man. That is the messiah of modding, per se. I learned everything I know about moderating from Super 6ix9ine, man. Plus, if you want some dope intro, outros, dope banners, so on and so forth, YouTube banners, things of that nature, your avatar,
got all that.
See Trooper 6ix9ine, man.
Shout out Trooper. What? Trooper 6ix9ine, shout you out. That's another great thing, young brother, about doing this, what we're doing. Take it from us. What we right now, honestly, this is the model. This is the prototype, the blueprint. Shout out to Dollar Bill Dave Lowe. I like to call him the blueprint. I was literally, I'm giving my age, but it's all good. I was 10 years old in 85. Certain brothers was 18 years old in 85. 18, catching their first bid, doing certain things so when you think about you in 2026 and a brother been putting in work since 85, there's a lot you can learn from that, brother. He laid the foundation for what you're doing. So ULL, a lot of people did not see this, but Big Man, Chip, and Doc told me this is what we're gonna do. I was working at Viacom and I said I could lend help to this because I see where it's going. And now look where we're at. So, young brother, what I'm trying to tell you is you're going to have people around you who don't see the vision. Get with the brothers who see the vision. Sometimes you got to make something out of nothing. When you're locked up in the belly of the beast, you have nothing but ideas. You don't have you can't go outside and come back later and say, yo, I went and got a beat machine for us. I got a laptop for us, fellas. No, in there, most of your time is visioning what you gonna do. And sometimes that's the most important part. If you can't see it, Michael Jordan told you. Michael Jordan used to say, before I hit the game winner, I used to envision that I'm gonna hit the game winner. Yeah, I had it in my mind I was gonna hit the game winner.
That's a fact.
That's what ULL helped shape with me. Vox, we gonna chop it up, but then we gonna put it into motion.
City Star, salute.
Shout out to City Star. Shout out to City Star. Shout out to
Tanya. Salute. Listen, anytime, let me make sure the entire LRL crew, right?
The entire crew, all of y'all, everybody.
It is powerful to see females not doing it because the men doing it because that's what they are doing.
At one time, right, Chip? They was carrying the culture.
Yeah. Listen,
doing everything.
That's why I never not give RLPC they props, because when I came back around per se, that's who I seen out there.
You always say it.
Community.
You always
showing love. I was like, okay.
I think one of those first, what they did, a book bag drive we rolled up on out there in the style. Me, you came out. You came out there, and we was like, okay. I think
because you like an honorary RLPC member.
Everybody, I'm down.
Yeah.
Scripts was DJing out there that day. Remember?
Right. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So just to see it, I'm like, yo. To hell with you. Y'all know me. I could care less about Polo at the end of the day. Right. But to see a Polo team, this over. It's a wrap. I know this is, let's just get us some paperwork and get the ball moving per se.
Let's go.
And what was great about that was it wasn't like it wasn't doing nothing. Shout out to Thirst. Shout out to Boosting Kev. Shout out to Rudy Lowe. Shout out to Rack Lowe. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to anyone else that I might have forgot who laid that foundation there to pull people in to know, let them know that we were here. We're here.
Yeah, because you know they do the brothers. You know the brothers they was out there doing they 1-2 for sure. You know what I mean? That's why we definitely got to salute Rag and Thurston and stuff. You know what I mean? Like okay, and keeping an eye on it. That people seeing like okay, there's other branches that's going on out there. Okay, okay, these cats doing they 1-2, and people keep moving and grooving and keep pushing the movement forward and keeping the community growing. You know what I mean?
Because of them brothers you just named, Low Lives became a household name.
Right.
You know, through music, through the things that they were doing, Low Lives itself became a household name, and then you know, it put us in position that if you was a major person back then, now you're able to tell your story because you relevant. Like they had stories, you know, people just needed to put a face to some of these individuals. Because back then, you know, we didn't want to be on camera and you know all that other crazy stuff. Now,
they gave it was more of a lane they opened up, whereas okay, they brought, you know what I mean, they were going in with the rapping and stuff like that, the hip hop, but also pushed in with the crew, being that the crew was what it was in these streets making noise, it came through. So now here we go. Boom, boom. Now they, you know, but now it takes for people to sit there and say, yeah, your peoples can go in there and create a lane. Now, what are you gonna do in that lane? Are you just gonna sit there and just follow them and just try to behind their lane, or you gonna say, you know what, we in this lane, let me get another lane, make this a third lane, a second lane, or fourth lane. You know what I mean? We gonna make this a highway, we gonna make this a freeway. You know what I mean? Where there's so many lanes going on. Now we all going the same way for the same movement, the same goals, but it's just mad lanes going that way. And that's what it's about. They don't need to be 1 or 2 or 3 lanes. It could be a few lanes going. You know what I mean? When you're going down I-95 South or whatever, y'all know how it go.
That's a great question. You know what I mean? Great question. Question for the panel in chat. Something I wonder if I'm doing my son justice or disservice by keeping him away from the hood stuff. Your thoughts?
My thoughts is you always have to let, like us, you know, like back in the days, let's keep it funky and light, right? Church girls was like the worst girls. Why? Because they were so sheltered. When every time you shelter somebody, they're going to be more apt and more hungry to go and do that wrong thing. But when you take your kids, like Bob Marley used to take his kids to Kingston. Remember, they grew up in a more of a privileged life uptown. But Bob used to take them with the BMW and drive them to Trenchtown. Leave the windows down. This was back in the 70s he was doing this, where, you know, there ain't no phones around or nothing to show you how grounded Bob was. That's why his kids are so worldwide grounded with all that prestige, and they're grounded because the father used to take them, go to the Trenchtown, the worst area, leave the windows down, everything, and they have interviews where Ziggy and them and Steven would ask him, Daddy, you're not lock the door. You're not lock the door, them. You know, you're not lock the door, Daddy. And he'd be like, no, this is to show you that when you come amongst your people, like people we look up to, like Muhammad Ali and DMX, rest his soul in peace, and rest Muhammad Ali in peace, Mike Tyson. These cats are millionaires and literally be in any worse neighborhood in Black America, and no one even touches them. No one worries about how much money he have in his pocket. That's the kind of respect you want in life. You want to be able to go back in your neighborhood and your money don't matter. People love you so much. They protecting you. There's some.
I think per se, the way social media is set up, you better off telling your child before social media tell your child.
Right.
Listen, I want to be the loudest voice in my child's ear. So, you know, I'm going to let them. A lot of things I did back then, I'm not super proud of. So I'll let them know, like, listen, I did XYZ. It cost me XYZ amount of time in my life, blah, 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 blah. When I started doing XYZ, though, now you see, boom, we got a house, we got, you know, this is how, you know, now you pick and choose. You could go this route, give years away, or you go this route,
Great.
And let them make the choice, man, because social media, schools, all don't let them teach your
child. Facts.
Your child.
Yep. You got some Rasta families that would tell their kid, don't go out there and smoke with no stranger. You want to bun a spliff, right, Chip? We know that in our West Indian, come bun a spliff with me. Our parents were West Indian. Drinking and stuff like that was a norm in our culture. So our parents would tell us, don't go out there and drink with no strangers. They would let you take a little drink in the house and teach you that, you gotta eat something before nephew, eat something and take a drink, right? So that when you go out into the jungle now, you could tell your friends, like your friend might be ready to go take down the bottle and you be like, yo, son, let's stop and get something to eat. Pop Dukes and them. My big brothers taught me you gotta eat something before you put that alcohol in you. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that you want your child to not. Like Chip said, you don't want them to go away to college and they first trip to college, they Len Bias they self. Go look up Len Bias. He was meant to go to the pros, and his night of graduation, draft night, he went and sniffed some cocaine, took some bad coke, and ruined his whole future. So, one night of not knowing, showing your son, taking him around the way. Jay Berg, shout out to Jay. He's family. He's ULL. That was a great question. And all of us are parents up here. So it's like, yo, whether you have a godchild or whether you just raising kids in the village, kids is looking up to us. You got shorties in your neighborhood that look up to you. So you raising the village. You're a father to that child regardless. And it's good to show them like, yo, this is what this negative looks like. You stay away from this, okay? Because if you don't show them that, great question, Berg. If you don't show him what to stay away from, he could fall victim to it. And we all was kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went, and like you said, we've been through it and we saw it, but it's more about nowadays. I can see it because, like I said, I still go to the hood and I can see how like some of our Israelites, our peoples we dealt with, how they sons and daughters can still get mixed up in the culture and the streets. I can see it because when you surrounded by that, you're gonna participate in that. You know what I mean? And that's a sad realization of it. Is whereas if your kid want to go out and play, and his go out and play time is amongst people they going out and play with that aren't really kids that's trying to do good, because certain kids may have a little, some kids have a lot. There's some kids who have a little, they know how to go get a lot.
And that's reality.
So they're going to go get a lot, and then your kid may be there and may want to participate, even though your kid may not need that, but they may still indulge in that because it's the thing. It's what my brothers, my peoples, my mans them is doing.
Great point.
So I'm going to do it. And then you start going down that rabbit hole, that trail of doing things and participating in actions that you shouldn't be. That's the bad side of when you grow up in a certain environment where the kids are that type of way. Because like I say, I can relate from both sides because my kids grew up in a different environment where I grew up in, where I seen the people that, the friends that they adapted to was totally different from the friends that I attracted.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because I was in my 4 to 8 block radius is the brothers, the peoples I dealt with.
Right.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? But to them, they not really in they in a different environment. So now in the school, they friends is mostly from the schools they go to. And the schools they deal with the programs after school. That was another thing we didn't really get, from the parent, but that's a whole nother story down a whole nother path. Whereas the resources our parents was able to use, didn't use, but whereas some of these parents use today, whereas they get their kids in programs and these type of, after school activities, whereas now your kid don't gotta be here or there, they can do this, and they are getting around newer friends, meeting newer people, and they start seeing your environment change and the actions change. You know what I mean? Whereas, you know what? Nah, these kids, these kids do this. If most kids is going to after school programs and doing this, their parents is kind of on them. When you think about what's going on and when you see the reality of it, if a parent is really focusing on putting their kid in an after school program or some type of activities or being that soccer mom or soccer dad going, then they really care about their kid. Let's be honest.
Great point.
Let's be honest.
Great point.
You know what I mean? Some may not have the time to do it, but you still putting them in that, whereas they have a coach, they have some type of teacher or some type of person there that directing them, saying, yo, this is what you need to do. You know, a babysitter taking them to these places and making sure they are in these activities. You can do that. Whereas now they are growing up in a different environment. They knowing different skills, doing different things. And then their friends change, and then you get to see different things. Whereas with us, when we grew up, you know, we in the hood.
Our impression rate of where we grew up, or who we grew up around, you know, we was impressed by those we seen getting it.
Right. Your environment will shape you.
To the point where if we couldn't get it, like, my first call, you know, it was, you know, I'm from SJP and Troy Ave, so you know, we got calls how
you got it.
Right.
Shit, that's it, man. We went down there to get the call.
I remember pulling up to Caribbean Dome and you know,
the Dome,
big body legs, like as if it's mine. Right. It was mine then, but
right.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's the impression, man. Like you really wanna.
Yeah,
and our
you
parents
really want to be your child's biggest impression, like
right. And our parents, we come from an era. These kids benefit so much from us. We are the hip hop generation parents. We understand when you put two parts in your head. We understand when you want to color your hair or get dreads. We understand when you want those latest pair of sneakers. We're the generation that set that. We come from parents that didn't think that was important. Your haircut is not important. Those sneakers are not important. If your friends care about what you're wearing, that's not important. Our parents couldn't even they couldn't even relate to what we were going through in these New York public schools. We are the generation that birthed Jordans. Us. 30-something plus years later, y'all are still standing in line in the cold for these sneakers that we pioneered. Our parents wouldn't dare buy them things for us. You might have got it for your birthday. You might have got it for Christmas, but that sneaker was not something your mama was going to stand out in the cold to make sure you got a pair. She wasn't going to wait up all night to go and download. Maybe a couple of parents were materialistic, but it wasn't the norm when we grew up. That's one point. Number two, what you said, dog, getting back to it, two things we were talking about earlier that I love is that, you know, how times have changed and parents, you know, the difference in what we had to go through. And most parents, take for instance, T.I. and his son. T.I. went through the trap. His son never had the trap.
No.
But his son still wants to be gangster. He don't want to be that nerd that we were saying. He's still in 2026, T.I.'s son, not all of them. There's another one, Damani. He seems to be on some, you know, cool vibe or whatever. But this one son who doesn't have no reason to want to be gangster wants to ride around, sell weed, and this is what he wants. So it going back to what you were asking earlier, the point that why do human nature seem to want to self-destruct itself or be attracted to negativity? Yeah. And what we learn is vibrations. The higher you go with your vibration, which is like going to the 12th floor, right? If most people are lazy, don't nobody want to walk up to the 12th floor. If you could just walk to the 2nd floor and hang out all day long, you're not going to walk to the 12th floor. So high vibration means you have to put in effort. You have to walk to the 12th floor. It's easy to just stand in the lobby all day long. All right. That is low vibration. So most people, like, you know, these youngsters, it's easy to be low vibrational. It's easy to be negative. That's the 1st floor. That's the lobby. You ain't got to put no effort into walking up there. And ain't no elevator with vibration. You got to put in some work to be high vibrational. All right. All right. So this generation, that's what we're talking about. If you don't show your son the 12th floor, He might hang out with a crew that's lazy and they don't never want to go high vibration, and he just gets stuck in this low vibrational crew, and he just think the lobby is where it's at. You got to walk him upstairs sometimes and show him, son, this is what, look at the view up here.
Now, and then that's where I have a question too now for both of y'all and for the chat, whoever. Do y'all think, even with that being said, because we may have people who will sit there and say, well, I grew my child up in this environment and they still was successful. Now, do y'all think, is it the environment, or is also just about how you as a parent or two parents or single parent, whatever, raise your child and teach them and are in their life, whereas when they do go out in them streets, they know right from wrong. They got fear, you know, from not knowing, like, you know what, if I do that, my parents gonna do this. So you know what? I'm scared of them more than I'm scared of you, meaning my friends. So you know what? I'm gonna just chill. Plus, you know, I'm provided with what I needed. I'm not really hard pressed to be having to go do something for some Jordans or some True Religions or some, I mean, you know, whatever they, you know, that, you know, whatever they doing and stuff, Chrome Hearts or whatever, you know, I ain't gotta go crazy for that. So now your kids knowing that, is that something that you think that it is in the parents that they can teach their kid to make sure their kid deter themselves from not knowing that, you know what, I know right from wrong, I'm not going to do that? Or is it just in the kid itself saying, like, you know, I don't care, let me just go do this negative stuff and just go?
Well, before Chip speaks, because Chips is always great with this, I just want to say there's a recipe for making a good child, right? That don't mean, because there's always going to be an exception to the rule. Go look that up. I had to learn that, all right? In mathematics, they have a thing called an exception to the rule, meaning like you could do things 9 times correctly. That one time it might just be off, because that's just human nature. You could plant 10 seeds. 9 of them will grow and 1 of the seeds won't grow. Remember, it's all in the same soil. It's just the law of nature. Something could possibly go wrong. It could go wrong, right? That's the first part. So there's a recipe to raising a kid. You could do everything right. We see it. Kids being, you know, kids be hedge fund kids, and they be alcoholics and crackheads. A hedge fund kid. This kid don't have to work for the rest of his life. He's a Ford kid or a Rockefeller kid, and they be the biggest addicts sometimes. The biggest addicts. And then you got a kid who coming out of Lafayette or coming out of Vanderveer projects who live in the pissy staircases and everything. And this kid is focused and studying hard and gonna get into Harvard. Mama can't even afford to send him to Harvard, but he's so intelligent and so naturally gifted that he got his scholarship to go there. And then you got the kid whose father is on the board of Harvard and he can't even get him in there. So that life will teach you that you could have all the right things to raise a kid right. Like some of us West Indian, Chip, this is where you jump in. Some of us West Indian kids like me, when I came around the brothers like Doc and them, Doc was doing it because he had to do it. I was doing it because I was fascinated with what Doc was doing. And I wanted to be cool and hang with Doc. So now my mother is not coming to bail me out. She gonna leave me in there, because I have no business doing this. She's not going to condone my behavior. So 2 things I had to do. I had to get friends that were West Indian like me and could not get in trouble. So when we go out and hang with Doc, we cannot get in trouble. Mom Dukes is not coming for me, you, or you. So with having friends like that, you knew not to do nothing too stupid, because, you know, and he living by the same rule too. And we help to build each other. Doc realized we can't get in trouble. He gonna help us not get in trouble. And we need Doc to teach us the game. And he gonna say, this is what you got. So all these recipes work. And sometimes you do everything right and the kid still turns out bad. But guess what? If it's your child, tell him, Chip, if it's your child, you still responsible.
My thing is this, right? When you the main thing all children need is to learn appreciation. Like I will say this, coming from, you know, West Indian parents and all that was cool. You know, she made sure she worked 2 jobs, good job. I didn't appreciate.
Right.
I did not appreciate what she was doing then until
Right.
I got older.
Right. And realize, man.
Yeah. I what I appreciated at the time with the quick fix was, you know, hey, the accolades I was getting from the home team, like, yo, if I popped out, you know, new chain or new jack, whatever the case may be. Oh, where you get that from? Chip that up. You know, that overrode my appreciation for my mother going out there and trusting me to be the latchkey, the older sibling to you know, hold the house down while she go out there and make. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the era. Like you said, these kids in this era, I'm gonna share this story, and I know they probably gonna curse me out afterwards.
In the chat, yo, we looking great in the chat.
Ask your kids, right? These newer kids, your grandkids, ask them kids to square up. Ask them to square up and see what they do. Just out of the blue, just go, yo, square up. I swear, we asked my grandson, yo, Jordy, square up.
Yep.
Yo, he balled up like a mighty morphin Power Ranger, like a turtle.
Yeah, they're not ready.
Like they don't know what square up is.
Nah, they're not ready.
Yo,
and that's a good thing and a bad thing, but not you know,
right.
It's certain things you have to implement to the kids. Because you know, we grew up in a different era.
They're allowed to be. They're allowed to be children.
That was good.
Yeah, salute to the chat, man. Salute to Doc, salute to Chip, salute to the big man, salute to our team, you know, everybody, you know what I'm saying? This is beautiful thing right here, chopping it up, and this is what we need. These children have been allowed to be children a lot longer than we were. You know, by the time you got to 12 and 13, they start telling you, yo, you know what I mean? Nobody in here ain't babying you no more. You got to wash up after yourself. You got to clean up. You got to learn how to cook a little thing after school. You know, nobody going to be home after school. Don't let nobody in my house. You have to like learn so much stuff. The only thing we ask our generation of children now to do is just go learn, go to school. And we got everything else.
Listen, you see, but do you see how, like I said, I always look at the time. That's, I don't know. This is where my mind be thinking sometimes.
Talk to me.
Do you see how times change?
Right.
We see it and we experience it, but we don't realize it and so we reflect on it and we look back on it.
Right.
Back in let's go back to slavery times, whatever, you know. How young was them kids in them damn?
Exactly. They made them grown as soon as they came out the belly. You going in the field.
You going? It was from probably 4 or 5 years old,
That's
6
right.
years old. They
That's
had
right.
them out there hustling and bustling.
That's right.
So when we reflect on our time, we was at, you know what I mean? Like I say, I was taking my brothers and sisters back and forth to East New York at 9 years old.
Right. You getting on the train.
And they was 7, 5, and you know what I mean, younger. You know, and we all other brothers and sisters can relate. Whereas we was young and we was learning things at a time that we shouldn't have been learning those things. We shouldn't have been being kids, be able to grow and live life, and our parents take care of us, and we don't have to experience the hardship of life of the world that early. You know what I mean? But when you look at it now, times have changed now. Our kids today, listen, Amir probably didn't see the hardship of the world until he probably was 15 years old.
Right.
When he was walking up the block from a friend party with his shiesty on, and the police pulled him over because he was walking up the block.
He didn't even know what he was doing. I'm just wearing this mask.
And it just so happened that it worked out for him, whereas it happened a house away from us. So we heard him call, like when they pulled him over, he was like literally a house away from us. The police pulled him a house away from. We heard he called his mom. I'm like, Mom, you know me coming from, you know, when you win something, you know something, the memory come back quick.
Right.
That call was a call that, hold on.
Yeah, let me go check
that.
That
sound familiar, my son, but that call sound like a call for help.
Right.
He in some danger.
Right. You a parent.
Man, I went to the window, I looked, I said, oh, whoa. She'll tell you, I didn't say nothing. I ran and grabbed the robe, threw the robe on the player.
Right.
Player. We just finished doing the 1-2.
That's right.
Me and Sheila just finished doing the 1-2.
That's right.
I'm butt naked.
Right. Nothing counts right now. Son in trouble. Grab this. We outside.
I grabbed the robe, threw the robe on. That's it. Ran right out the door. At one point, I was talking to him. I know I was swinging.
Right. It don't matter.
I don't care at that point.
My son is in danger.
I'm like, yo, y'all not taking him to no precinct because he ain't got his ID on him. Right. I'm like, he's only 15, about to be 16. Right. What are you? I'm like, no.
He live right here.
We right here.
Right here. He in front of his house. He don't need ID in front of his house.
No. But we had a permit. We had his Sheila ran in the house, got his little ID, permit. We got all that if you needed it because it wasn't like we don't have it. We make sure he good. He got that if he needed. He just ain't bring it out that night because he was going to party. He slipped. But that point did showed him, learned him to carry his ID, to make sure he got identification. Because, you can teach your kid things and tell them things, but, when they don't go through nothing, they going to get lax. They ain't going to worry about you. I done told him bring his ID. He got a wallet. He got all that.
That's right.
But
he grew up in a different era. So if that had been you at 15, you would have known to tell the officer, I live right here, officer. My parents is right here. I'm right. But he never been through that.
Yeah.
Our 15 is like their
30.
Almost their 30. Like 15.
Right.
I was 15. I was on the island.
Yeah. I told him that. I was on the
island 15. Like,
I'm still
that's when they first implemented that law in New York that if you're a minor,
you going
and you do an adult offense, you get charged as an adult. So it wasn't a problem for me. I went to
that's in the book, Surviving the City, Inside the City. That's in Chip Lowe's book. Please, we're not playing. All right, my book is coming out in August. Dollar Bill Dave has a book. We have the Ralphie's Kids book. Big man working on his book. I'm working on my listen. Yes, we're not playing.
Everybody
has a story that's very helpful to the next generation. Chip's book gives you a lot of insight to, like he said, Chip was a grown kid. Rest in peace to Steamo. That's one of the things that I put up that Ski said. Ski said Steamo was this size at like 15. So that's why a lot of those cats grew up in that environment because they were big for their age. Shout out to like Brick Feel Better, Brick
Face,
Brick Face Feel Better. Squash is another one who's huge for his size. Ralph Lowe is another one. These guys, Frankie Boo, you look at these pictures, these guys are like 16 years old in these pictures, but they were big kids for their age. And like we said, compared to a 16-year-old nowadays who's in the crib all day long, he's online, they don't really go nowhere.
They on Fortnite, Roblox,
They don't know the street.
Yeah, it's a different, and that's why I look at, like, I don't know I guess it may be us as a parents, because we kind of locked the kids down because we knew the danger that was going on out there, because we say to ourselves, we ain't intentionally locked them down, but we locked them down by providing them, giving them everything they needed. But when the newest game come out, they got it. So if the newest game come out, they got it. They got to play this game. Now they got online. Now I don't got to go outside. I can see my man online. He can play the game. He can play it from his house. I can play it from my house. We can rock out. We can still talk. We can still vibe. So, all right, cool. What's the sense of us going outside? Yo, I'm going to go meet John and Bill and them after school. We go on this PlayStation, play wherever they go at in the group place, and go over there, play the NBA 2K and wait in the lobby. You know what I mean? They be doing that. That's where it's at now. So it's not like how we was.
Right.
We go from school, we in them streets.
Right.
We going down the block.
We
We got to meet up with
Chip.
Chip. I got to meet up with Vox. I got to meet up with Ralph. I got to meet up with this person because we got to get into something.
And we're trying to be grown. We're trying to be grown. We allow our kids, great point, dog. We allow them to be grown longer. We would have been just like that too, but our parents were not hip hop parents. So to sit on a game all day long when your pops was one of them old school mechanic working dudes or one of those old school men who wanted you to go get a trade, go get a trade. And that was corny to us back then. It's like, damn, I don't want to be working on my hands and knees for the rest of my life. These kids nowadays can come to us and be like, I want to be a video game programmer or I want to make video game. We couldn't tell my father, who was an electrician, I want to make video game. That wasn't fathomable. These things weren't like feasible, practical stuff. So what Doc's saying is absolutely right. Like these kids, we try to give this generation the stuff that we know a kid is supposed to have. You young right now. You and your friends play video games and relax. Y'all don't need to be out in the street because you don't know the streets. The streets got a lot of
and it go back to back in the days. I was the parents would say, remember back in the day, your father, your kids play. Go outside and play.
Thank you.
Go outside and play.
Be a kid.
Go be a kid. Nowadays it's like, man,
come inside. You ain't grown enough.
Go inside. Go in your room. What you need? You need the PS35? Wow. I got you. Whatever you need. You need more Roblox? I got you.
Wow. That one right there, dog. That's it right there. Chip, we need to give some shout outs. That point he just made right there. Back in the days in our era, they would send you outside. You got to grow up. Go get dirty. Go get out from in front of this TV and all of that. Nowadays, you tell them, get your ass inside. Excuse my language. Get in here.
Inside. What you need to play. Wow. What you need. What you got. I got
shout
you.
Out to Herman King, man.
Shout out to, let's do some shout outs for real.
Shout out to Herman King. Shout out to Old Mental, pulled up, came to the function. Man.
Oh yeah, don't forget, y'all. Listen, at the door it's gonna be more.
Oh,
I've been telling y'all.
Okay. Wait. Before you even say that, let me make sure I say this.
Okay.
Do not wait till the day of.
Right.
And call me inside the event and say, "Hey, Chip, could you?" No, I'm letting you know right now. The answer is no. Right. You're gonna pay that full price ticket. Because procrastination
it's worth it. I'm one of those people. Let me speak up for the people who don't like to buy tickets online and all of that. All Doc and Chip is saying, it ain't our fault. It ain't our fault. You get to the door and you gotta pay what you gotta pay, or you're calling Chip and he can't come to the door. It ain't our fault. You had ample time to get these tickets and to get your little discount. It ain't gonna kill you to support the cause because you're gonna be supporting it for a good reason. But don't look for nobody to be giving you no charity case when you be going to, all your little events and everything. Y'all going to Jay-Z concert and the nosebleed tickets is $300.
Word.
Okay, you want to get down there $600, $700, and you're taking your lady with you, so that's $1,400 you're gonna spend to hear Jay-Z rap about the same thing that you can see on YouTube.
Listen, it's so expensive. I'm trying to go to the Roots concert because I heard he out there.
He's gonna be at that too. So yeah, and you got to travel to go to that. So what we're trying to say is, brothers will find money every time. Brothers and sisters will find money to do other things, and then when it's time to support your brother and your sister who it's a problem. But you go and pay for Jay-Z who you don't know. He gives you nothing every year. We at least will give you a barbecue, feed you, you know what I mean? Give your kid a book bag. We give back, and y'all don't want to come and support us. And then you want to go pay $1,400 for a Jay-Z ticket, and you never even met this guy or nothing like that. So we understand it ain't our fault.
And he back, you know what I mean? He right.
That's how it is. I'm not gonna have no tickets. I'm not traveling with no tickets.
Right.
Matter of fact, my phone might be off.
Right.
You might call ahead. The number you have reached is not in service at this time. My phone might be off.
Right.
Do not call me the day of the event talking about where can I get a ticket from.
I've been here for an hour. Dark man phone ain't rang not one time with nobody asking him, Not one time asking him about tickets or whatever right now. So when Friday and Saturday morning reach and his phone is ringing off, y'all know y'all dead wrong for that. But it's all good though, you know.
Listen, and that's why I'm trying to get it together, because you want to get all that together before the day of, so I could get all this list, because I got to get there. You know, I got a lot of preparation things going on.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like I've been telling dudes for the last 2 months, hit me. You know what I mean? Y'all see me on Instagram, on Facebook, hit the DM, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what's up and whatever. You know what I mean? But, or hit Chip, hit Big Man, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know what I mean? Let's get it situated so that you get them early bird. You still, you know what I mean? Tickets early. Listen, it's going to be more at the door. Like we said, right now, $15. You get the, you know what I mean? You get the special.
That's definitely doable. Come on now.
Get
You
the
know what I mean?
$15 tickets now.
Right.
Hit me now, because
And let me
listen,
make sure they understand this too. The money is not going in our pockets.
No.
We're taking
right.
the money, we're sending it to individuals that's still locked inside the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
We're sending it to people who lost loved ones,
Great point.
who still, you know, their child might got a graduation or something coming up. We're assisting first responders. So, you know, we're providing a place where we can all, you know, celebrate each other's lives and celebrate their lives, and, you know, make sure their legacy lives on.
And that's what people understand is that
really,
that
is beyond feasible.
And when we gotta understand, people gotta understand this too. We doing this the way we doing this because we want to make sure that no matter what weather, spring, what weather it is, whatever's going on, we can have a spot and we can do our 1-2 no matter what. And this location we at, we not out in the block. We not out in the park. We not out on with no streets, no corners or nothing. So in case it may be raining that day or it's too cold that day, you can't come or you don't want to come. We
want a bathroom all the way across the street, and the line is super long to get in McDonald's. You try to use the bathroom. Could you freeze?
Yeah, you know what I mean? No bathroom space.
Professional. We're doing it we're giving you professional service. I hear you.
You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. We got a spot, and it just, you know what I mean, how the brothers and I believe the brothers and sisters above works, that is a spot right there. Y'all know where it's at. St. John's, Utica is we at. It's the spot. We do our low vest shoot every year. 1405 St. John's Place, right there in front over there. But we take over the whole block and we rock out. But it just so happened that the brothers and sisters that's going blessed us that right across the street.
Right across the street.
No, not across. Right across the street.
Right.
Is a spot that we rent out that's an indoor and an outdoor location.
Can't ask for more. You can't ask for no more. Anyone who's coming to participate with what Dark and ULL is rolling out this red carpet for you, I could say that. I could say myself as a you know, I'm not only a client, I'm a president too and a client. You know, some years at this time of year, we've had a long winter. This winter has been extra long. This weather is very unpredictable in March around this time of year. It's very unpredictable. So the brothers have gone out of their way, and the universe has sent us something. So there's no excuses. You know, we used to do it in January, but we realized, damn, it'd be extra cold in January. It ain't even vest weather in January. So we did y'all a service by moving it back, and then we started incurring so many people coming to the event that the block and in front of the buildings used to be packed. And police let us rock, but they'd have to come and remind us that we got to let the people go inside their building. We don't have any of those issues no more. We're moving like adults, moving like a real team. So we need people to appreciate that. You know, don't take that for granted. And all the ones who's coming with that attitude, like, yo, y'all leave that at home. Leave that at home.
Listen, y'all know I would go here. Every number, Love and Loyalty at these events, on this here, on St. John's, you know, SJP. Y'all know how we do, you know what I mean? Don't bring that negativity, all that stays home. We just here to have a vibe, have a good time. Remember our brothers and sisters that's not here. Network and build. You know what I mean? We're going to be at the vendors there. You know what I mean? You better cop your old pieces, some pieces you may have not gotten, some new pieces. You know what I mean? We have food vendors there selling their food and stuff, doing they want to. Listen, It's all about bringing community together and having a thing. Because we could have did that, like I said, we was on the block, but it wouldn't have been feasible to have all that on the block with police and attraction, people coming. So we said, how can, you know what I mean, how can we make this happen and be able to keep it in the area we at? Because my thing is this, I want to keep it where we grew up at, in the Mecca of where we at. So when people come, it's not like a foreign place or somewhere new. It's like, okay, you can come there before you come in a place. You can go by right across the street, about 1405 or whatever, and take your pictures in case you want to take some pictures outside in front of the legendary areas, the legendary blocks, the legendary building. You can do all that, and then you can come in the spot, enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? This, that, and the third. So it's not like we in a distant place, whereas, oh, we not where we from. You know what I mean? Because a lot of brothers and sisters pass on that block too, you know what I mean, for situations that happen. So it's good for us to be able to pay homage and be able to still be on that block and doing an event for the cause, for brothers that's not here, brothers that's locked up in the belly of the beast. And, you know, we can make that happen. You know what I mean? That's why people are like, yo, why y'all got to charge? Or what? Listen, the place is not free.
Right.
You know what I mean? The place is not free. We got to rent the place out to make sure that we all are comfortable.
Right.
Nobody want to come out there and you rain it and your goose or your vest is getting wet, or it's too cold and you had to you forgot to wear that extra layer. You could everything is right there. We got a nice garden city, garden house, NYC. You know what I mean? We right there. Google it. Y'all see what it's about.
Beautiful.
Big indoor, big outdoor.
Beautiful.
You have a good time. Beautiful location.
Beautiful.
This is what we doing. It just happened to be right there on SJP.
And to add on to what Dog is saying, this is living proof. You know what my number one conversations with a lot of Nubian people is about unity. The number one thing people always talk about is blacks don't stick together. We all know that. If you on the job, if you in barbershop, you're hanging out. The number one thing black people know that is the number one thing on our plate is unity. We can't seem to do anything without unity. And you know what we'll do? We'll sit around and complain that, yo, why we going to somebody else's event to do this polo thing? We should be throwing this on our own thing. Then when brothers finally decide to do it, it takes the whole village. The chief could say, yo, we gonna throw something, but it takes everybody in the village, the blacksmith, the farmers, the people who make the pottery, the weavers, the cooks. Everybody gotta come together. If you know Nubian, go study your Nubian history. We don't celebrate Christmas and all those pagan holidays in Africa. In Akibulan, we celebrate harvest season, where you was a farmer who had wheat, you bring the wheat. I was a farmer who I had spinach, I brought the spinach. Somebody brought the tomatoes, somebody brought this, and we come together for harvest season, play our drums, dance, and have a good time. It was about sharing and community, because we all understood this village cannot exist or survive without everybody's input. So the people that come to the event is just as important as the people putting on the event. Everybody's important. And we want to stress
make sure I say that. Book number 2, it is on its way.
Okay.
It is on its way.
Yeah, these things ain't easy. These things are not easy. There are a lot of years that takes to put these things together. You have to be accurate with what you're telling. And you know, the more you tell a story, you start remembering other things. You ever run into someone of your friend and they remind you, yo, Doc, remember when we did something? You like, word, son, that's a whole era of my life I forgot about. You know, the mind can only focus on so much at a time. So that's why it's good to.
We got a bunch of people in the building, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me make sure I throw this out there. So,
Chocolate, shout out to Chocolate.
Last low vest shoot, right?
Yeah.
The last low vest shoot, I was honored by Bun and Wise, and that was my first time really being interviewed by them.
R.I.P. to
and now-
Wise.
R.I.P. Wise, man.
Shout out to Bun.
So this is the thing. Last time I seen him was the last Low Vest shoot. What I was able to do was, get with some people and they put together a track, and I'm gonna play that song for all the people in the building, and it I'm gonna just say y'all are here now. The beautiful thing, we got a Low Box, we got Low Sloan, we got a lot of individuals who
shout out to
are
Low
musically talented. So this rendition of the song, they can remix it. We can get tons and tons of remixing. We can start adding on to anybody who I forgot this go around. So let me play the song real quick.
Yeah.
Dedication to all our angels up above. Dedication forever, your memories full of love. In every beat, in every song, you're with us still, you keep us strong. Boost and Millie always shining bright, ski back, your laughter lit the night. Mr. Ass and your wisdom ran so deep. Wise low, your courage we still keep. Starlow dance like a blazing flame, pumping joy, it echoes just the same. Marco Polo, you made life again. Forever in our hearts, your names remain. Through the skies, you guide our way. In our hearts, you'll always stay. Dedication, to all our angels up above. Dedication, forever your memories full of love. In every beat, in every song, you're ever still, you keep us strong. Ninja move with silent grace. Sheena smile lit up the darkest place. Polo baby, your spirit was so free. Boosting care, you brought us unity. Steel mode, your energy still unique. To all our loadies and loaded.
That's it.
Light up a little something for them, man. Them.
Gotta bless them, bless them.
Come on.
Yeah.
Dedication, all our angels up above.
Man, oh man, listen, we got a lot of tunes. Listen, I got some dope plates and all that. Shout
Yeah,
out to
listen,
Homage, man.
You got to make a new UWL mixtape, Chip.
Oh, yeah,
Some of that. Yeah, yes. I
Don't
think-
forget about that
Sure.
era. Good point,
Yeah.
dog. Don't forget about that mixtape era. We had CDs. Shout out to Class 1 Sound. Shout out to Classic, who's a part of that Retro Sundays. DJ Princess Low, Kills. We have a couple of a lot. That shout out to DJ Ronan. Shout out to Can Do. We have a lot of DJs that's in
DJ
in our
Kills,
culture.
shout out to Kills.
right?
Yeah.
Kills.
Listen,
Used to be
yeah, we use more.
Can Do.
Yeah.
y'all brought Can Do out play tune, big tune. Ronan's gonna be, shout out to DJ Ronan. He's gonna be at our event spinning. You know what I'm saying? He's very,
shout out to all the performers, man.
Great, yeah. We coming to turn up with rockin' low, we rockin' low. Y'all bring y'all energy, cause your boy Vox coming with the energy. So shout out to the Bangkok family, Shatik and them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole Bangkok. P General, One Click Bang. You know what I'm saying?
It's a star-studded lineup.
Sav Kills. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. That's the Lord Digger, one of my favorites of all time. Lord Digger will be in the house as usual. Lord Digger is a producer for Biggie Small, one of the greatest MCs to ever walk the planet, one of the greatest rap records to ever be put out. Lord Digger is a part of that. Plus, he had his own history before that and after that. Before a lot of people was on the dispensaries and marijuana is everywhere now. Lord Digger been on it. You know what I'm saying? Like a High Times magazine. So shout out to him. He's one of my favorites. He'll be there. Shout out to all the MCs that are down with us. Everybody, all the MCs that rock with Special Ed, Sadat X, everybody that we check for, in this fraternity, this culture is important. Shout out to my boy Haiti Low. Haiti's very important to this. FAP. Shout out to
FAP. Shout out to Kingston Ave. Shout out to
rest in peace to $500,000. Shout out to Blood Sport. There's a lot of people who help put this thing where it is. Rest in peace to $500,000. Shout out to Blood Sport. Shout out to like I said, Haiti Low, the whole FAP. You know what I mean? It's too many to name, but just to give a couple
we lost some good ones from FAP too, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kiki the Guest King, man.
There you go. Brian, shout out to Flatbush, Manny, Wisdom, Too Bad, Lil C, London, and Brian Parkside niggas.
Shout out to the big LP.
LP. Shout out to my crew, LP, Big L, Zemlo. Shout out to everybody in that crew. Big Born holding the name down. Shout out to the Colonel. Shout out to everybody. Rest in peace. Shout out to Teacher Skelly Low. Shout out to Teacher down there.
Skelly.
In Miami, doing big things still with his House of Mac. Shout out to Klepto and them from FAP. Albany PJ, shout out to Froggy, Devon and them niggas, shout out to Fabian and all the cats from Wingate, Face Low, and that whole Wingate. Ski went to Wingate too. Rest in peace to Ski Black. He went to Wingate. I think MC Light went to Wingate. There's a whole Kango Kid. So that shout out to everybody that helped bring this culture to where it is. When you rock with Vox, you're gonna always get a history lesson.
We went to Weston House, man. Shout out to Big,
the Heights, Weston House. Yeah,
DMX. Shout out the whole. Yeah, we all the Weston House alumni.
Come on,
we gave it up, man.
Yeah, call it out, man.
Shout what I'm saying? Bugs was a point guard. That's when I thought I could hoop a little bit.
Right. Shout out to a lot of those b-ball players, a lot of ball players, Tilden High School, Ed Coda, shout out to Bugs, Coney Island legends, and shout out to these ball players.
And shout out to all the brothers who got their GED in jail.
Word. Shout out to Lefferts Park. Shout out to Lefferts Park. Word.
Listen, not only GED, shout out to all the individuals who got full-blown diplomas.
Word.
Thank you, SUNY College, man, for
shout out to the brothers
associate's degree.
Still locked up right now. Monton. Shout out to Monton. Hopefully come home soon. Panna, Buff. It's a lot of Paris. It's a lot of brothers that still.
Shout out to Lakeith, man. Free the homie, man. That's the
Pup Low, man. Pup Low, free Pup Low. You know what I mean? He walking it down. Pup Low, man. He was just out here. Y'all know it. You know what I mean? But he be home soon, man. Free Pup.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the brothers who just came home. Shout out to the big dog, the big brother, Frankie Boo, man. A lot of people of the name. People have never met him. I had the pleasure of meeting Frankie Boo for the first time at a low event at a ULL event this summer, which was magnificent, hosted by Big Man. Once again, make sure y'all put that on y'all calendar. In August, every year we have a annual barbecue. Come down. That's what I say. We don't only just ask you to pay to come into these parties. The barbecue that Big Man throws in North Carolina, he feeds everybody. Free drinks, free food. You know, you come down there, free music. We just chilling in the park all day long. Big Boo gives out free hats, free things. You know, you could purchase your gear when you come there, but he's always giving something out to somebody. So trust me, we do a whole lot of giving back. Get involved. You know, you don't mind spending 700 and Ralph prices done went up. Let's talk about that the next time we do this interview. How much Ralph was already a $1 billion company, and with our strength adding to what he does, you notice them jackets done went from $700 to $1,400. Some of these jackets is 12 and 14 regular jackets have done skyrocketed his prices. You know, the regular army fatigue pocket, you know, cargo pants, them is almost $200 now. So we had a lot to do with Ralph's bottom line increasing. This is, if you go study, it's no different than why Jay-Z and them started Rockaware. They reached out to Iceberg like we might reach out to Ralph and tell him this is what
Georgie, man.
Yeah, shout out to G George. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, you know, Jay-Z, go do your history. Jay-Z and them reached out to Iceberg and told him, look, you know, just let us help move some units with you. We already helping your bottom line. And they told him no. So this is why you see Doc got on the dope Ralphie's Kids hat. You see us having our own gear. A lot of y'all don't understand why we're making our own clothing is because we've helped Ralph's bottom line, and we have not received a letter in the mail as of yet. So if we know we've helped your bottom line, we got to do what every other corporation does out here. If they know they're helping to move stuff, they get in on the business. You notice that all corporations do it. If corporations start putting hip hop video, if McDonald's has a hip hop video, guess what Burger King is going to do? Have a hip hop song for its theme song too. That's what businesses do. Right? And there was a time when the music industry only wanted to hear that you were a drug dealer because Jay-Z and them had turned the game into drug dealer. Before that, Suge Knight and them had it on lock and everybody was a gangbanger. Then Jay-Z and them came and turned it into drug dealer. ULL Lo Life, we came and tell you we the fashion guards. And here's what I like to drop right now on y'all. The difference between the drug dealer and the gangbanger, they actually destroying their hood. But the actual real root and history of what Lo Lifes were doing was more of a Robin Hood theory. Low lifes were going into these department stores that most of them wouldn't even let you in back in 90 or 89. Okay. They didn't want you in their department store. Low lifes was going into those department stores and taking out the fashion and coming back to the hood and giving it to you for half the price. Well, most of y'all didn't even know how to get on the train. I got brothers that live in the Bronx, never come to Brooklyn. Brothers in Brooklyn never go to the Bronx. Low Lifes was traveling all over the tri-state area for you to make sure you was getting that gear. So we really wasn't destroying our hood. Now, let's be fair. We were destroying the industry, the fashion industry and department stores. We're the reason why they put Chip and Dark in them is the reason why they put metal detectors and even had to put like, what's that wire that they put on the clothing? They made Dark and them made them Dark and them made them have to step up their whole game. We made them step up their game. But we were hurting the department stores, which had insurance. They could afford to write it off on their insurance, what we were doing. We weren't selling crack to our people. We weren't going by and drive by shooting people in our neighborhoods. So if you want to get behind a story that has a better meaning, deep rooted, some young kids that were fighting the system and not literally taking from their neighborhood. We weren't robbing the black guy in the neighborhood. We were going and robbing the $1 million companies. We made $1 million companies have to change their tactics. They didn't want to make us part of their companies. And then you know what Tommy Hilfiger did? Tommy Hilfiger saw that and said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to the rappers. So we have always, Low Life has been, thanks to the B Bills, you know, who helped coin the phrase Low Life. Shout out to his mom, who's still alive to this day, and his uncle, you know, Dollar Bill Dave. Low Life has lineage and it's rooted in the Robin Hood theory. We weren't destroying our neighborhood. We was taking from the cracker. We was taking from the industry and bringing it back to our people. So if you want to get behind something, a lot of people nowadays are purchasers. They're helping Ralph become a billion dollar, more billions, 10 and 15 billion dollar company. We were actually making Ralph's bottom line shift.
Before COVID, a t-shirt used to be $45 at the outlet. Now they're $70.
Great conversation.
All their clothes went up. That's a fact.
That's a whole fact. You have to watch these things. That's what I love about ULL. So now if Ralph has taken his t-shirt $30 up now, right? $25 up, he done going up with his t-shirts. That $25 belongs to us. We're the reason why. So when we have our own brand, our own clothing, and we're trying to get a little $25 out of it, we earned it. We earned it. And the corporation is not going to look back down on us and say, let me help them. No, we have to be smart enough to help ourselves. Okay? Go do your research. Ralph Lauren actually started with Brooks Brothers. Go do your research. Everybody here on this panel, we know Ralph started in Brooks Brothers and decided to do what we're doing. Brooks Brothers is still in existence to today. They still have stores in every one of your favorite outlets. Brooks Brothers. That's where Ralph Lauren started.
Listen, we've been up here an hour and a half. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Let me let y'all know I gotta go take care of some things before I, head out
Definitely.
tomorrow. But
2026 is us.
Yeah, I just want to let them know. Yeah, all them videos and pictures y'all see, man. We got all that stuff going on with the low vest shoot. Y'all see, come be a part of it, man. And man,
come be a part of history, man.
Come be a part of history and just do your 1-2. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. Y'all see, we got all this action going on. Let me see. Let me share some more videos before we get out of here. We out of here, man. We gonna let them know. What's this one here? Yeah, man, that's what it's about, man. Oh, we got Vox up in here too.
Yeah, it was a good year. That was a great year.
Another year, dog. Another year. We here, you know what I'm saying? Another year. Low best, you know what I mean? Low best shoot, you know what I mean?
Y'all used to be outdoors, now we indoors.
My brother still got something better than beach, you know what I mean? See this, we got the big watchtower, always from the south. He came up, you know. We always gotta come out and show up, show out, you know what I'm saying? UWL, you know what I'm saying? Low south in the building, on the John, you know.
Somebody said it was rain today, bro. Thank God.
You know what it is? There was no rain because Ski, all our brothers and them up there watching out over us said, you know what? We gonna do this for the brothers and sisters out there that pay homage to us out there on the land. So they gonna pay, we gonna show them and hold it down up there for us. They hold it down for us already when we get up there. But they expect to show on a day like this when we paying homage to them, that they know that, yo, you know what? We gonna make it nice.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's what it's about right there, you see?
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's what it's about, man. And it just like we said, it just so happened to be that a place we just saying that. I think that was the last year. Then the next year, we found out the Garden House right across the street where we could be indoor, outdoor, and don't have no weather issues.
Shout out to Team Boston, man. Put him in hand. The whole the whole crew, man. You know, they very, very, very influential to the movement, to the growth. And we appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah. So y'all know
Rhode
what
Island
it
too. Shout out to Rhode Island, man. They out there doing, I mean, huge things out there.
Yeah, the Rhode Island, they do their event every year. Definitely try to catch them this year with their barbecue and whatnot.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, y'all know what it is, man. Yo, this Saturday, you know what I mean? Check the Instagram, Lovox Instagram, my Instagram, at DarkyDark5. You know what I'm saying? At Chip Low Instagram. We here, yo, tap in, follow us, and you know what it is, because this Saturday is going down from 2 to 10. 2 to 10. You know what I mean? Get out there. You know what I mean? This Saturday, low vest shoe. We out there doing our 1-2. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do, man. Yo, you know what I mean? For our brothers and sisters not here, the brothers and sisters locked up in the belly of the beast, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Make sure y'all live life, enjoy life, and celebrate life. Keep doing y'all 1-2. And come out, man. You know what I'm saying? Spread love.
Y'all good?
Yo.
We good.
We good. I'm saying there ain't nothing else going on, right? But this weekend after that, we gonna tap back in and fill them in on the boat ride and everything that's going on July 3rd. But keep the date and the time intact, because that's when it is for the boat ride. You know what I mean? But this weekend here, this right now, is about the low vest shoot this weekend. You know what I mean? Tap in, let me get them tickets. Come get them pre-sales now and hit me up, man, at DarkyDark5. Hit me on the DM. Cash App, Zelle. We here. It's active, baby.
That's right. And you can find me www.lovoxshop.com, www.universallowlives.com. You can find us anywhere. We're on IG Universal Low Lives. We also have, like I said, we got LLCs and businesses. So anybody that wants to get out there and do some business with us, we're into that too. Shout out to everybody who came in on chat tonight. Appreciate y'all. Truly grateful.
Listen, y'all know, like I always say, man, be the best you that you could possibly be. And I see each and every single one of y'all at the top, man. Salute. Oh, look at Doc with the best, man. Listen, I got some exclusive.
Tap in. We got the vest. They're gonna be at this low vest shoot.
I got mine.
You know they're gonna be there.
That's right.
Tap in. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. They're gonna be there. So this is what it is, man. Low vest shoot this weekend. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is what we do.
That's right.
Yeah, make sure y'all get y'all scullies, man. I'm coming. Listen, I'm coming with all type of heat.
We gonna have some things that ULL, like he said, www.universallowlives.com. Get your merch. You know what I'm saying? We got them scullies, we got them hats, we got these new ones that just dropped right here. You know what I mean? Listen, we out there. There's gonna be vendors there with other merch too at the low vest shoot. But you know we gonna be out there with our merch. You know what I mean? Official whistle. Y'all see what it is.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't no playing with it. It's us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Shout out to all the people that do custom work in our culture too.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's
creating. Flow, shout out to Prince doing his thing out there. We see you, Prince.
That's creating
super duper salute, Prince.
Got to create your own movement for sure. That's what we do, man. But yeah, man. All right, Chip, man. Do your 1-2. We ready? You good?
Yeah. Everything good.
Truly grateful. Thank you, brothers.
I'm coming. Listen. Matter of fact, don't be surprised when the jury might be on deck.
Listen.
Right.
But yeah. Again, I see it. Matter of fact, I see a lot of y'all tomorrow, but till then, dog.
I know what it is, man.
Salute.
All right, y'all.
Luke.
2 L's.
2 L's. Make sure y'all tap in, man.
Salute.
Salute.